So one of the most memorable moments in Andor was with Kino Loy at the end of the prison escape. Actor Andy Serkis addressed the fate of his character in a recent interview and said it was best left ambiguous. Do you agree with the actor's sentiments, or would you rather preferred to see him in season 2?
I do agree with what Andy Serkis said, and I have to admit, watching season 1 coming into season 2. In fact, at one point, I think it was reported before season 2, oh, he's going to be in it. You know, it was kind of that back and forth rumors, nothing ever necessarily confirmed. But I wholeheartedly agree with what Tony Gilroy said, which is it takes some of the magic out of that power. It takes the power out of that moment if he shows back up. Just recently, in the last couple of weeks, I got my wife, who is the non-Star Warsiest person that any of us know, to watch seasons 1 and 2 of Andor, and she really enjoyed it. And after that episode, she was like, he's going to be back. And like at the end, when we finished season 2, she was like, hey, that guy didn't come back. So it worked. Yeah. And she even kind of agreed. She was like, I'm kind of glad he didn't come back. So I think it was the right decision. I wholeheartedly support what they ultimately ended up doing with that.
What do you think, Chris?
He's dead. He's dead. He's gonna go back and he's gonna maybe run shit for a little bit as far as in the prison goes, but then there's gonna be follow-up. There's gonna be Imperial follow-up at some point. They're coming back. He's dead.
He's either dead in the water or dead in the hallway there.
Yeah. He slipped into a pool. That was it. He can't swim.
Fair enough. Tim, what do you think?
He's Snoke. Snoke. They clearly see how much of an effective leader and speaker he is, and then they put him in a jar and they turn him into they pickle him for a bit and he becomes Snoke.
Get in there. Get in there. Shut up.
Snoke.
Get in the jar.
That's hilarious.
A t-shirt with some version of Andy Serkis in a jar that says they pickle him has to happen now.
And he's just like, ugh.
Yeah, exactly. In a jar, they pickle him. That's it.
Pickled Snoke.
Pickled Snoke.
Pete, do you have a better theory than this?
I can't compete with either one of those theories. And I hate to do it because I want to be controversial, but I totally agree. I think if he came back, it would have completely killed that moment, because that was such a it was a heartbreak. And after all they did, and they got to that very last step, and I do agree with Chris. The problem is he shouldn't come back, because it's not because I don't want to see that he survived when he jumped out and he's doing something in the rebellion now. No, he either died trying to swim or died trying to hide after he couldn't swim, and the Empire came in. The Empire probably came in and blew that place up, actually, is probably what happened. And then they built, because I think, isn't Dedra, didn't they say she's on Narkina 4 or something like that? I think I read that somewhere. So she's in a different Narkina prison. So they probably blew it up and said, screw that, we'll start again. Although we could have seen, remember those two giant puppety looking Muppet guys that Mel Sheet? Yes. It would have been fun to see him living in a cave with those guys, and just it's like it becomes a buddy show on just trying to find
I'd watch it.